Okay. Uh, Before discuss this trigonometric ratio, sine ratio, cos ratio, and tan ratio, um, let me study why we need these ratios for the UR level, IGCSE level. Why we need these ratios? Let's see, try to understand. Very simple idea. This is the thing. Now, think if you have a right angular triangle, and two side length maybe these are centimeter, meter, doesn't matter. Somehow you know two side length of a right angular triangle. Then you can find the third side, other one, remaining side. How? Using Pythagoras theorem, right? We have that kind of method. Keep mind, in a right angular triangle, if you know two sides, you can find the other side using Pythagoras theorem. But in here, when you have right angular triangle, only one side you know and one angle you know. Now, actually two angle, because this is definitely right angle, no, this is right angle. Then you know other, here we have two angle, one of that you know. One angle and one side, only one side and one angle you know. Then you can find other two side length, actually this side or this side length, using this ratio. That is the idea, basic idea, right? This way you can get the idea here. When you have right angular triangle, if you know one angle other than the right angle, if you know one angle and one side, can be even this or this, doesn't matter. If you know this, then you can find this angle and this length, then you can find other two side length. That means this one or this one you can find. Obviously this angle you can find, no, because here 90, here 30, then definitely this should be 60, because this all three add up to 180, no. Using that rule you can find this one how much. It's not big deal. But this two side is the thing. Get to this two side, you can use these ratios. Keep mind, in a right angular triangle, if you know two side length, you can find the other side using Pythagoras theorem. But if you know only one side, but you know one angle also, then you can use sine ratio, cos ratio, and tan ratio to get other two side length, right? That is the basic idea. Because why we use this sine ratio, cos ratio, and tan ratio, right? Okay, before understand sine ratio, cos ratio, and tan ratio, you need to know some other thing. This word, what the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, right? Now, think these two right angle triangle. Now here right angle, right? Here's the right angle. Here's the right angle. Same thing. Now, if I consider this angle, right? Now doesn't matter whatever angle you consider, this will be always hypotenuse, right? In front of right angle triangle, right angle in front of this, in this right angle triangle, in front of right angle you will have always hypotenuse. Now here will be hypotenuse, right? I will write this word hypotenuse, right? Hypotenuse. Here also in front of 90 degree, this right angle, that means if you draw an arrow like this way, here will be hypotenuse. In front of from the 90 degree angle, if you draw like this way, then this is the it's very simple idea, no? In front of, that means this one, this way, this is the hypotenuse. Okay, I will write here also, right? Hypotenuse, right? Now in front of 90 degree. So for any right angle triangle, it will be same. In front of 90 degree, this is hypotenuse. Now this is the thing. Now if I consider this angle, this will be opposite. No, very simple idea again. For this angle, this is the opposite. So if I consider this angle, this is the opposite, right? Okay, I will write here, right? Opposite. And right, this will be adjacent. the remaining side will be adjacent. Okay, now again I will tell, in front of 90 degree, this is hypotenuse. If I consider this angle for my question, now for this question, for a question thing, now if I consider this angle, this is opposite, this is adjacent, right? Okay, I will write the here also word adjacent, right? Adjacent, adjacent, right? But if I consider this maybe in same triangle, this one here, but now it's not clear, that's why I write here, right? Think the same triangle, doesn't matter, maybe same triangle, right? This same triangle, if I consider this angle, now I consider this angle, right? This one, yeah, okay, here theta 1, if this is theta 2, now if I consider this angle, now what will be? Now this will be opposite. It depends according to the angle what you consider. This opposite and adjacent. That's the thing I need to tell you here. What the angle you consider here, right? According to that, this opposite and adjacent will be different. Now, if I consider this angle, this angle, then this is opposite, this is adjacent, right? Now that's why I wrote here. Now if I consider this angle, this will be opposite, right? Opposite, this will be adjacent, right? That's the idea. This will be adjacent because now I consider this angle. So in front of this angle, this is the opposite, so this is the adjacent, right? Other side, not the hypotenuse, not the opposite, so this side will be adjacent. That's the idea. Remember, hypotenuse not change, but according to what angle you consider, opposite, adjacent, depend. So if I consider this one, then now this is opposite, this is adjacent. For the same triangle, right? Here I draw two triangle, same way, same triangle, because if I write here, it will confuse. Here, if I write opposite, that's why. Now, if I consider this angle, now this will become opposite, this will be adjacent. Now I consider this one, so that's why this is opposite, this is adjacent, right? Think in the same triangle, if you consider this one, this is the opposite, because in front of this angle, what we consider, this one, so this is opposite, this is adjacent. If I consider this one, now this is opposite, this is adjacent. Hypotenuse will be same. Now let's study what is this sine ratio, cos ratio and tan ratio, right? Now think, if you have, now here this is a right triangle, right? This is a small one, this is the bigger one, right? Now here, like I told you, now here sine 30 degree, here 30 degree, right? 30 degree and 30 degree. Now this both are right angle triangle. Now if this is 30 degree, right? Now this side divide by this side, that means this side length, if you divide by this side length, it doesn't matter how much, the size of this right angle triangle, maybe it's very small or very bigger, right? That means like planet size, it doesn't matter. If you divide this length by this length, your answer will be 0.5, that means half, or 0.5. If this is 30 degree, right? If this is 30 degree, then this length divided by this length always will be 0.5, right? That's the idea. In this triangle also, maybe it is very bigger, but still, if you divide this side length by this side length, it will be 0.5. If this is 30 degree, right? Keep mind. So that's why here we need to remember, this all has kind of ratio. It will be same according to the angle. If this is 30, this length divided by this equal to this length divided by this of this triangle also. Doesn't matter what is the size of that, right? Then again, if you divide this side by this side, and here also if you divide this side by this side, will be the same answer, right? Not only that, if you divide this side by this side and also this side divided by this side, will be the same answer. So that's why these three things we need to remember. That means we have normally three ratios. It depends according to the side. Now I will tell like this. Now according to this angle, this is the opposite side. No, in front of this 30 degree, this is the opposite side. So we call this is opposite, right? Opposite. This is normally hypotenuse. No, this is hypotenuse, right? Hypotenuse. Because in front of 90, normally when you have right angle triangle, in front of 90 degree, we call as hypotenuse. Here also hypotenuse. This is opposite. This is adjacent. We call adjacent. This also adjacent, right? According to 30 degree. But if you consider this one, then this will be opposite, this will be adjacent. Hypotenuse same. Here also if you consider this angle, then this will be opposite, this will be hypotenuse. This will be adjacent. Right. Now, that's why remember, according to the angle you consider, these opposite adjacent will be different. According to that you need to think. According to this angle, now this is opposite, this is adjacent. Right. Now, opposite divided by hypotenuse always same. For the right angle triangle, it different according to the angle. If you have same size, now here 30 degree, that means opposite divided by hypotenuse. Here also 30, then opposite divided by hypotenuse same. So that's why if you have 30 degree, opposite divide hypotenuse mean normally we call sine, right? If you apply sine 30 to your calculator, you can get what the value for sine 30, what the value ratio, this divide by this you can get, right? That is the idea we are doing in this sine and cos ratio. Here if you apply to your calculator cos 30, that means this side divided by this, that means adjacent divided by hypotenuse, what the value you can get. It will be same for any triangle, doesn't matter, must be only what the same degree. Here 30 degree, then adjacent divided by hypotenuse, what the answer you will get. Here also if it is 30 degree, then adjacent divided by hypotenuse means same. That's the idea. That is we call as cos, right? This divided by this we call as cos, right? Now try to understand. That's why these side opposite divided by hypotenuse we call as sine ratio. Sine adjacent divided by hypotenuse we call as cos ratio. Opposite divided by adjacent we call as tan ratio. That is the basic thing you need to remember. So we write normally because that is common for any right angle triangle. Doesn't matter what the size of that, right? Always that will be same. Now here I will write what the sine 30. Okay, now here I could write what the sine ratio. I will write sine theta. I will put sine theta because for any size of the triangle doesn't matter. Sine 30 always sine theta. I will put sine theta. It will be opposite over hypotenuse, right? Like that. Normally we write like this way. And then cos ratio mean what the cos theta mean. Theta mean you can put here any angle size. That means now here sine theta 30. For example, if you wrote sine 30 opposite over hypotenuse, it will be 0.5, right? Like that. So here cos theta mean what the adjacent over hypotenuse. And if you write tan theta, it will be adjacent over opposite over adjacent. These are you need to remember, right? Sine ratio, cos ratio and tan ratio. So why we can use like that. Keep mind, for doesn't matter what the size of the right angle triangle, if you have same degree amount opposite divide hypotenuse, here also opposite divide hypotenuse, same value you will get. Same like that for the adjacent divide by hypotenuse, same answer. Here also adjacent divide by hypotenuse, same answer. Opposite divide adjacent, same. Opposite divide adjacent, same answers we will get. Must be but 30 degree, right? Keep mind here same degree. Here 30 degree, then here also must be 30 degree. For example, same angle must be, then doesn't matter size, opposite divide hypotenuse means same, right? Like that way, try to understand. This is the basic idea of sine ratio, cos ratio, tan ratio, right? Let's we do few question, then you will get um, what the exact idea of these things, sine, these ratios, right? Okay, now think, if you have this way two triangle, now this is very small one, right? Think can be very small than this one, but think here is small one, this is bigger one. But here you have 30 degree, here also 30 degree, right? Then now okay, according to this angle I will name this. Here this is opposite, no? Okay, I will put just only O. Here hypotenuse, so I will put H here. This is adjacent, so A, right? Here sine, again this is 30, 30 degree angle, this one I will consider. According to that, this will be opposite, this will be adjacent, and this will be hypotenuse, right? Now you need to understand this, but the now here 30, no, right? Now opposite divide by hypotenuse, right? I will write it, opposite divide by hypotenuse. This will be equal to what, the 0.5. That's the thing, right? Here also this is very small triangle, but still opposite divide by hypotenuse 0.5. Here also this is a very big thing, maybe even planet size, very big triangle, it doesn't matter. Now here opposite divide by hypotenuse, here also opposite divide by hypotenuse, this will become 0.5. It will be bigger value, but doesn't matter. When you divide this opposite by hypotenuse, it will be equal to 0.5. This is the thing you need to understand. Can be small triangle, can be big triangle, doesn't matter. Always if it is a same degree amount, that means here 30, here also 30, then suppose this if it is 30, now opposite divide by hypotenuse mean this value. For example, it can be even here 60. For example, think here 60, here also 60. Then again same value. It different, not the 0.5, something else like 0.866, like that. If it is 60 here, here will be opposite divide by hypotenuse, you will get that answer 0.866, like that. Here also if it is 60, can be it is very bigger, doesn't matter, opposite divide by hypotenuse, you will get the same answer. So that's why we can use this thing to find, if you know one side and this angle, other sides, other two sides you can find using this thing, right? I will show you one question, then you can understand it. Okay, now think this question. For example, now here this is 30, right? 30. Now opposite is 4. Think 4 centimeter. Now this is we don't know. This is how much we don't know. But you can use that rule. But we know opposite divide by hypotenuse. For example, according to this, opposite divide by hypotenuse, it is equal 0.5. So we can write 4 divide by x, it will be equal to 0.5. Right? That's the thing, no? Right? Now, because opposite divide by hypotenuse, it equals 0.5. We know now, if it is 30 here, opposite divide by hypotenuse, it will be 0.5. For example, now, if you multiply here, check what the answer, right? Here will be, okay, I will just do it. Here will be x equal to 8, right? Here will be 8 centimeter, right? Like that. Now this will be 8, right? So this is the idea, right? If it is 30 degree in a right angle triangle, we know opposite divide by this 0.5. For any triangle, it doesn't matter. So that's why, but keep, right? That's why we can use ratio. But keep mind, this, if it is another amount, I mean here 30 degree, if it is 30, then opposite divide by hypotenuse 0.5. But if it is here 40, if here 60, then different. But again it will be same for any size right angle triangle, doesn't matter. So that's why this is has name what the opposite divide hypotenuse. Now you know it's we call as sine ratio. sine. Now if I do this question correctly with the full all the way, all this step, we need to write like this. What the sine 30, sine 30, that means we try to get in this triangle, this angle 30-degree angle sine ratio. We try to get 30-degree this angle sine ratio. So we need to write sine 30. We try to get 30-degree angle sine ratio. Sine ratio means what? The opposite over hypotenuse. So you need to write 4 over hypotenuse here x. Okay. Now sine 30, no, sine 30 we know what the sine 30. Sine 30 equal 0.5. As I told you, if it is 30 here, opposite divide hypotenuse means 0.5. If it is 30 here, so we know sine 30 means 0.5. You can check with the calculator. If you enter this one to calculator, sine 30, you will get 0.5. So here 0.5. You can replace this with sine 30, 0.5. Again, look, this is the proper way you need to do it. But now if you get this, apply the cross multiplication. Okay, I will do it with the whole step. 1 into 4, 4. Then both sides divide by 0.5. Right? So here answer will be x equal 8 centimeter. Right? 8 centimeter. How it become? Okay, I will show you. Here divide by 0.5, no. Multiply by 10, you can get, or just apply to calculator, you can get no. Right? Then this is the answer. It will be 8 centimeter. Right? That's the idea. Keep mind, we can use this ratio, sine ratio, cos ratio, like that, because any degree amount doesn't matter. You can find with the calculator what will be the ratio, then you can use that thing. Right? Okay, I will do another question, then you can understand more this regarding these ratios. Okay, now let's see do this question. Right? Now here thing you need to find this side. Right? Now normally you will have this type of question like this to do. What the? Now you have to find this length. This length you need to find. What to do? Always start with the angle. Sometime maybe you have to find even angle, but now here they give the angle. Okay, now this is the angle we have other than the 90-degree angle. Right? This is the angle we have. According to that, first of all name these side. Don't need to name, just think what are the side. This is opposite, this is hypotenuse, no, and this is adjacent. Okay, now we need to find adjacent side, and we have as a data hypotenuse. Okay, according to this angle, that's why I told you, first of all consider what the angle you have here other than 90-degree. According to that, think these sides, think about that side, what are the name of those. Now here adjacent, here hypotenuse, this is opposite. Now we need to find adjacent, and we have hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse we have according to this angle. So adjacent and hypotenuse, which ratio it has? That both side, both letters, both name, adjacent and hypotenuse. Look here, opposite hypotenuse, no, we need adjacent and hypotenuse, no. This is the thing. Here you have adjacent and hypotenuse both. That's why you need to use this ratio, or the cos ratio, because some are confused with this. Which ratio I need to use? It depends according to which angle you have. Now according to this angle, maybe sometime you need to find this side. Sometime this angle you need to find somehow. Now what the angle you need here? According to that, think these what the side you need to find, that is adjacent, and what the side you have as a data. Now this is hypotenuse. Now adjacent and hypotenuse both side belong to cos. That's why you need to use cos ratio. Cos ratio of this 60-degree. So we need to write like this way. What the cos 60? Cos 60 equal, cos 60 equal, like I told you earlier, adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So I will write x over 10. Hypotenuse, no. Adjacent is x, length is hypotenuse length is 10. Now cos 60 mean again it also 0.5, right? 0.5. You can check with the calculator. Here 10. Now if you apply the cross here like cross multiplication, you will have answer as 5 centimeter. If it is centimeter, no, now this is centimeter, no, so that's why this length will be 5 centimeter. It's like that, right? Here main thing you need to understand, according to what the angle we have, we need to start with that. And what are the side we have, name those. First of all, adjacent, you don't need write it, do it in mind. Here adjacent we have, hypotenuse, adjacent we need to find, hypotenuse we have. So adjacent and hypotenuse both sides belong to which ratio? Then according to that ratio you need to start. I will do another example, then you can get the idea more than this. Okay, let's do this question. Now again, now this is right angle triangle, we have only one side, right? Now think, always start with the angle. Now this is the angle we have other than 90 degree. This is the angle we have. According to that, this will be opposite. This is the side we need to find. But the has data they given, that is opposite. Okay, that is hypotenuse. Sorry, opposite of the 90 degree, that is hypotenuse. Okay, again I will tell. This is the angle we have. According to that, this is opposite, this is hypotenuse. Opposite side we need to find, hypotenuse they given. Okay, now opposite and hypotenuse, that both we have in which ratio? Hypotenuse and opposite. Here in sine ratio we have opposite and hypotenuse both. So that's why this is the ratio we need to get. That means we need to get sine ratio of this 50. Otherwise we can get cos ratio, tan ratio of this 50. But we get here sine ratio because opposite and hypotenuse we have. Right? That's the thing. Right. So I will write here what the sine 50. That means we are telling we get sine ratio of this 50 degree. Sine ratio of this. Sine ratio mean what? The opposite over hypotenuse. Now here opposite mean x, hypotenuse mean 8. Now again if you here also if you apply cross multiplication, here will be sine 50 into 8 equal 1 into x. Now if you apply this to calculator, your answer will be, right? Your answer will be what the, okay, I will write here, I got 6.128. Now if I write to 2 decimal place, it will be 6.13, right? This is more than 8 now, so we add 1 here. So 6.13 centimeter equal x. That means this side length is 6.13. Okay, now think this question we need to do, right? Now again with the angle start. Here 40 degree we have, other than 90 degree we have this angle, no, 40 degree angle, no, this one, no. So according to this, according to this angle, what are the side we have? We have this one has the data they given, that mean opposite. What the side we need to find? That is adjacent, no. So I will put A. Now consider according to this angle we wrote, this is the data we have, this is the thing, this is the side we need to find. Okay, that is adjacent, as data we have opposite. Adjacent and opposite both belong to which ratio? From these three, sine, cos or tan. Look, opposite, adjacent, that means this. That's the ratio you need to use, that means tan ratio. So I will write here what the tan 40 degree, right? 40 equal what the opposite over adjacent. Here opposite is how much? Opposite is 6, right? And adjacent is we need to find, we don't know, right? Now what we can do here, think here we have denominator has 1, then apply the cross multiplication. Now here will be tan 40 into x, this into this, no, x, then 1 into 6, it will be 6. Now we need to get x, no, so both sides divide by tan 40 degree, because we need to keep only x here, to find x. Here also divide by tan 40 degree. We can divide this by this thing, because here this one into this, after all this is a value, right? Keep mind. So that's why by this we divide both sides. Okay, now this tan 40 cut. Here we will have just x. Now you need to apply this to calculator. When you apply this to calculator, right, my answer was 7.15 and 0 and something, right? Now if I wrote this to 2 decimal place, it will be x equal 7.15, right, centimeter. Because this is 0, no, we don't need to add anything. So this is the answer. Keep mind, right? This is the idea. Always according to angle, think what are the side we have with that name: opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. But here we have opposite and adjacent. That means opposite they given has data, and adjacent we need to find. So that two letters, that means opposite and adjacent, O and A, with which ratio we have, you have to use that. Now think here, in this question they ask this angle, we need to find the angle. Now earlier question was you need to find one side, right? They give one side and angle, and then they ask other angle, other side, other side. But here they give two sides length, they ask this angle is how much. We need to find this angle. This will be 90, right? Okay, here also you have to start with the angle. Now if you consider this angle, right, in front of this, according to this angle, this will be opposite. This is opposite, right? This is opposite. And this one, this is the side we have data, that is we call as hypotenuse. So in front of 90, so this is hypotenuse. This side we have no. That's why we need to use this side and this side. Okay, now according to these opposite and hypotenuse we have, now we need to decide which ratio we need to use from these three. Here opposite and hypotenuse, which one has opposite and hypotenuse? Both, right? For example, hypotenuse we have here, opposite we have here, but both opposite and hypotenuse, both length we have here. Sine. So we need to use for this question to find this angle, sine ratio. So here sine angle we don't know, we need to find that. So I need to write what the sine. Okay, I can put sine x, right? We need to find it now. Sine x equal opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 8, hypotenuse is 16, right? Now here after this, you can find this answer very quickly. What you need to find x here. We don't need sin x. Sometimes maybe they ask sin x, then you can write just this answer. But if they ask x, we need to find x, that means exact angle value. So you need to make like this. We can write x equal sine inverse. That means when you bring to sine this side, it will be sine inverse. Or someone can think both side divided by sine, and then here sine, if you go to up, it will be sine inverse, like that. But anyway, you need right here sine inverse, right, like this way, sine inverse, and inside the bracket I will put 8 over 16. Now if you apply this to calculator, you can find the answer, right? Here answer will be, when you apply this to calculator, it will be 30 degree, right?